Right now, many young musicians from Watsonville are gearing up to show their talents for an event of music. And for a small town with a surprisingly large number of young talents, that much was not well known. Good afternoon, my name is Rogelio Valdez with KSQD, and today I am speaking with 17-year-old Miguel Martinez. He is a current high school junior, a guitarist for local band Los Enchilados, and a full-time student of the arts. He is the main driver behind a live music event that will be held at Watsonville High School this spring, and we will be having a conversation on the topic, as well as his story about coming back to the United States from Mexico. We will also be talking about how hard it was for young musicians to find community in a small town with seemingly not much to offer. Good afternoon, Miguel. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very, very well. Honored to be this evening with you.
So let's get into this. Tell me about this music event. What's the main reason you're doing this, or what do you hope to achieve with it?
Well, it's very interesting because it happened because I had the opportunity to play many events at the Mello Center, for a spring concert, a talent show, and even a couple of folklorico presentations. And what really inspired me was that I saw that in those events where I played music with other musicians, I saw that they weren't really passionate about what were they playing, and also the audience sometimes was there more because of a compromise and not because of the passion. And now what I really want is to put out an event where the musicians feel passion for what they are playing, but also the audience is feeling passion for the music they are listening to.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of music will there be at this event? What type?
Well, there's going to be a good variety, but it's going to be music in Spanish, from all this tradition, from ballads, romantic music, to very traditional songs, but also a couple of pop songs that were really popular in the second half of the 20th century. Absolutely all these songs are a classic that have inspired, our language, el español, which is such an honor to present this music, especially in Watsonville.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that's important for a community like Watsonville?
Oh, of course, definitely. I feel that there are not too much events where the community can feel represented, There are not too much events where people from Watsonville hear the music they like, the music they have heard. And that's something that we really need to put out. And also there's a lot of musicians who really love this type of music, and putting both together, the audience and the musicians in the same level, is something that I feel is going to be one of the very first times that happens.
Especially for young musicians such as yourself. Why do you think there are so few opportunities for young musicians to showcase their work, other than, having them plan it themselves, maybe?
Because I feel the people who has the plays, the people who has all the power to put these events aren't really interested on giving opportunities to people who they haven't really listened to. They are also sometimes they don't listen to the type of music young people's hearing. You know what I mean? Like, they are really disconnected from our reality. So there's not a point in common where both sides can be interested in.
That was a great answer. I agree. How will this event change the relationship between, maybe the older people in the community to the more younger musicians, and how they interact with the music scene in Watsonville?
Because I feel the main point of the event is to interact with the audience. We're not just there just playing music for who? No, we're playing for ourselves, but trying to put ourselves in the same level as the audience. That's what we really want. And putting music in Spanish is really, really special, because I don't know if there's a greater connection between anyone in this community and speaking Spanish. That's something really special. I really hope that change the mentality from both sides, and to prove that there's a lot of talent that can be more often promoted.
That was really well put. So you came back to Watsonville at the beginning of last school year, so 2021, correct? What was your first impression of the musical scene here in town coming back?
Well, I think that music in Watsonville has always kind of been the same, hasn't changed that much. But for me especially, was absolutely different to what I was used to listen. And it's very different. But I feel that there's there are two options. You focus on the differences or you focus on the similarities.
Okay.
And I choose to focus on the similarities we have. And in that sense, I feel there's a lot of room for new music. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of room for new music.
Exactly. There's tons of room for new music all the time. So has that changed?
Definitely. Getting here was the opportunity to do something for the place where I was born, and that's something so special. I think that's the most special thing from all this. Playing music for the people who saw us grow, and giving something back, because the people who hide the talent, the people who hide all these opportunities, they are thieves. They are thieves of our culture. It's really necessary that you show, that you share, what is culture if you hide it?
Right. So, you play for Los Enchilados. You play guitar with them. And you got to play with them at the Strawberry Festival last August. What was that like for you?
Oh, it was an honor. I don't know. It's one of the most special moments in my life, really. It was an absolute honor. But we really rocked, It was not even about us. It was about the music. It's not about who write the music. It's about who hears the music. And that was so nice. The people was so nice at receiving us. And I really felt that connection, that does not happen very often. But those moments where both the musicians and the audience connect in something, that's so special. I think you understand it better even than me. But there's a deep connection, So nice. Definitely, I want to use other word. It's something that more people should experience.
Very well. Do you think, based on, your work in the community, putting together events for music, your work in your band, do you feel you've had, or better yet, what impact do you feel you've made on the community, on music for young people in Watsonville?
Well, first of all, I had the privilege to play with super talented people. So in any case, it was something that we all did together. But we really proved that young people has things to say, that young people can show the same quality as any other. There's no difference. And we show that there's a lot of audience for new type of music, not only corridos and not only music for this maybe upper class taste, you know what I mean? There's room for plenty of music. And I think we show it to both older people, but also to young people. You can tell there's more musicians that might feel inspired by the Enchilados myth. That even if you're in high school, you can put out a band and play music for our community. And that's something I'm very glad about.
And what kind of change are you seeing in that community?
They're getting more open. I don't know. Actually, this is interesting. It happened not only because of these opportunities, but also because it's post-pandemic, and I feel people is more hungry of listening, of watching new stuff, and this is the perfect place to be. But of course, there are some challenges to face. There are many things to do different, but it's the right moment to show who we are and what we're capable about.
Very well put. You brought up an interesting point of the pandemic. How do you think that affected young people, their drive, their motivation for putting themselves out there when it could have maybe been easier?
I feel there's some sense of shame, young people might be more afraid to showing to the world who we are. But I think that's just a temporary barrier. And we need to break it. What are we going to live our lives hidden all the time? We need to show our real colors. And we need to share it. Share it, definitely. But it's not going to be easy, especially, it was a really harsh year and a half. Mm-hmm. But right now, I feel like that's changing. And I hope that keeps changing.
Would you like to show us some of your colors? You have your guitar right here. Would you like to play some for us?
Of course I would.
So good. Oh my God. Okay. That was really good.
Well, thank you so much.
All right. To wrap up this interview, you've done great. In terms of music, what do you see yourself doing in a year from now?
I can hardly see myself not doing what am I doing right now. Like I'm really passionate about this, but I will really try to write my own songs. But that will take time. I don't feel any pressure of time. Like I feel like I have plenty of time. I have a whole lifetime to do many things. But really keep doing better, getting together with the same musicians. It's an honor to play with them, and really keep sharing. I think that's the key. Thank you so much for your time, Rogelio. Thank you very much for this interview, for this space. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I am Rogelio Valdez with KSQD, and we've been listening to a conversation with high school student and musician Miguel Martinez. Thank you for tuning in.